And we are live for the first roundup of the new Premier League season. Not a great start for my team, Man City, at all. Big up to my boy Thriller. Not a great start for Arsenal at all. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the losing end, big up to my boy Josh from A View from the Stands who did the preview with me. Not a good start for Villa as well. But it is what it is, man. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. That's just how it is. And you just have to find ways to bounce back. You got to come stronger next time. But it's nice to be back for yet another season. It's going to be a long season, 38 match days. And we are in the first match day or match week, however way you like to put it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And this will be the first roundup where we had some very, very spectacular games. Some not so spectacular ones as well. In my case, for City, that was not a spectacular performance. But overall, we were treated, we were entertained by some very, very good football on display in the best league in Europe, the English Premier League. Why do you think I'm doing this? Why do you think I'm here doing this? It's because it's the best league. We will touch on the other leagues today as well to see what's going on. So, big up to the boy Thriller. Commiserations to clubs taking L's on the opening day. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Thriller, one of the best supporters around here. Do appreciate it, man. Do appreciate the continued support from last season coming into this season. Make sure he comes out to almost every single live stream. And I just love it, man. I just love it. And there's a lot of you guys in here like that as well. So, big up to everybody in the chat right now. Big up to my boy Lennon Sweet, Duhane Thompson, Pacharo. I kept saying Pacharo. Pacharo, FL. Big up to you again, man. Dom, Barcelona are playing on regular TV now. Yeah, I know. I have access to La Liga, so I will be watching some La Liga matches. And maybe we'll do a few watch-alongs, who knows, this season. But we're going to do things a little different this time around. But I'm back. The preview was quite long, 2 hours, 53 minutes, but I had fun. And I appreciate Josh joining me for the preview. I'm supposed to have a few people on today to chime in on what they think about the results for their teams. But let's see how that one goes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here. One thing you could bet is I'm going to be here. Right now, I'm having a slight headache, though. After watching Man City play, and I was kind of hungry, and whenever I'm hungry, I kind of get little headaches. But I think it was because of the performance I just saw from Manchester City there against Tottenham Hotspur. It has to be that. It can't be anything else. It cannot be anything else. I'm not going to blame it on nothing else. You know they say, blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the alcohol. No, I'm blaming it on Pep and City. Responsible for my freaking headache, man. So, big up to Elizabeth Molino in the house. Thriller says, so weird watching Barca without Messi. I'm telling you, man. Telling you. Eminem or Wiggins. And Liverpool will be champions for the 2021-22 season. All of the other teams are pretenders. Big up to Jersey boy in the house. How you feeling, man? Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Look, I usually like to watch every single game, but I didn't get to watch all the games. I watched half of the Burnley Brighton match, and I did not get to watch the Southampton Everton game, because they chose to play 5 games at the same time. You see what I mean? So I didn't get to watch them, but I will. I will watch them. I will watch them whenever I have some time, because I don't like to miss matches. I really don't. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna start talking about the games that happened, finished this week, and let's start with the games that I didn't see. Let's start with Everton 3. Southampton 1. And I did see a few highlights. And Southampton, they started well. A mistake by Everton. And Adam Armstrong, their new man, pounced on it, set up by Che Adams, put the ball in the back of the net, the 22nd minute. And I was saying, listen, man. Listen, Southampton might be okay even without Danny Ings, you know what I'm saying? Because this guy, Armstrong, that finish was exquisite. He looks like he means business. And that was some good piece of business done by Southampton. You got to give it to them. They do sell their best players all the time, but they do replace them very well and manage to keep surviving in the Premier League year after year. But I think, and I said it in the preview, Southampton could be in trouble this season. They could be in trouble. So they scored first, 1-0 at halftime. But in the second half, we saw a different Everton, who are now managed by former Liverpool manager Rafa Benitez. I almost said Carlo Ancelotti, but he's not there anymore. You know, these guys are mercenaries. They're without a job. A team calls, offer the right money. They say, hey, man, I'll take it. And Carlo did that with Everton. He had one okay season. Real Madrid call. Bye-bye, Toffees. I'm out of here. And they had to call up no other than Rafa Benitez. And Rafa said things about Everton in the past when he was a Liverpool manager. And ironically, he now has to go back to manage Everton. And he starts off with a bang. And that's courtesy. Big up to my boy Josh. Josh, whenever you're ready, bro, whenever you're ready, you could join me. And you could chime in on these games. You could let me know your thoughts on Aston Villa. If you can, though. That's only if you can. That's only if you can. I think I sent you the link already. And if there's anybody in the chat who wants to come on and who wants to share their piece, follow me on Twitter at Dominic Rich FC. Hit me up and I'll send you the link. You got to be set up right. You got to have a good setup. Cell phone is fine. No echoes and all that. No, go in a quiet place. And you can come on and say a piece. All right? We don't want to get carried away. But I want to involve you guys this season as well. So, big up to the boy OBOKK. Thanks for coming through once again. But we're talking about Southampton Everton right now. Southampton Everton. I was like, this ain't going to be a good start for Everton after going down courtesy of that Adam Armstrong goal. But Richarlison, I haven't yet seen these goals, you know. I haven't seen the goals because it's been so hectic with work, with everything. I haven't seen the goals. I seen the Adam Armstrong goal, but I didn't see the Everton goals. That's why I'm talking about this game first, because I haven't watched this match yet, but I will watch it. Tomorrow morning when I go to work, I put it on and I'm going to watch it. I wanted to watch it, but it wasn't available for replay. I could have watched the highlights. I'm not making excuses, but I will get to this game because I want to have the context to when I do the preview, so I could say, okay, this player played well and so on and so forth. But Everton seems like they have their fit squad. When you have Luca Digne, Seamus Coleman, Michael Keane, Holgate, these guys are quality players. Everton has a quality team. They just have to execute, and they did so in the second half. Richarlison, 47th-minute goal. Andros Townsend, their new man from Crystal Palace with the assists. Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's not really known for his goal scoring, smash one in the 76th minute, set up by Alex Iwobi. And Dominic Rich Calvert-Lewin with a goal, continuing his great form from last season, set up by Richarlison. You have to give it to Richarlison. He went from last season to the Copa America, to the Olympics, 1 goal with Brazil, 1 silver at the Copa America though, and then back straight into this season. You got to give it to him for his stamina and his strength, because there's a lot of players who didn't even play much at the Euros, who didn't even play much for their countries, coming back late from vacation and not starting games. You see what I mean? You get the point I'm trying to make. You want to be on the bench because you just came back from vacation. You haven't trained. Whatever, man. Whatever. You see? But good win to start the season off for Everton. Big 3 points. For Southampton, though, I said this team is going to be in trouble this season. They started well last year. They were top of the league at one time. And I said they were going to be in trouble. And they're going to be in trouble, because if we take a look at Southampton's next couple fixtures, we're just going to take a quick glimpse at their next couple fixtures. I just want to show you guys something. right? I want to interact with you. I want to show you something. Let's just take a look. I want to share the screen with you. I want you to see the next couple fixtures. All right. Southampton, Everton, right? Bam. These are Southampton's next couple fixtures. Look at this, right? Manchester United. I know they beat Manchester United recently. But last season, they got 9 from Man United. And the way Man United played in that game against Leeds, I don't want to be facing United right now with Pogba and Bruno playing like they are. And Greenwood, and I don't want to face them right now if I was Southampton. You see what I mean? They have an EFL Cup match. They should beat Newport. I say should. Then they have Newcastle. And we saw Newcastle did not look too bad against West Ham even though they lost. West Ham. West Ham. And then City. Well, City are beatable. We know that. Wolves. Chelsea. Leeds. It's going to be a tough, let's say, first 7 Premier League games for Southampton FC. Guys, I didn't make predictions for this season, but I have to say, man, Southampton are in danger of getting relegated. They are in danger. Hassan Hutel, 9-0, two seasons in a row. They're in danger of getting relegated. So, big up to Dave in the chat right now. Dave say I will pop in about 10 to 15 minutes, bro. Yeah, Dave, man, I just want you to come in. I want you to share your thoughts on Liverpool. You don't have to be here forever. I don't want to hold you up. You guys got things to do. Come share your thoughts. We talk about the Liverpool match. Josh, if you want to come on, you talk about the... Let me see what Josh is saying here. Okay, Josh says limited time. Okay, no problem, man. No problem. Josh says, Dom, keep killing it, mate. Looking forward to your honest reflections. Unfortunately, I am limited for time due to need of getting food. I will keep active in here till it's ready. Okay, no problem, man. No problem. But look, you were busy today, Josh. You did 2 watch-alongs. I wasn't able to join the watch-alongs because I was watching games and using the devices. So I know you've been busy and you're probably drained and you're probably parched from talking so much during those watch-alongs and everything. It's hard being a creator. Look, I just got up at 5. Listen, I got up early this morning, you know what I'm saying? Early this morning, went to work, had to watch the games while I was at work. Let me keep it on a hush-hush. And now I'm here again after work to talk about all these matches. It's all about the passion, man. We love it. We love it. It's the English Premier League. Guys, if you have any thoughts on the Everton-Southampton game, let me know in the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Gaylord Huxtable. What a name. He says, new subscriber here. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. Appreciate it. And if you're watching and you can't comment, you have to be a subscriber to comment. Big up to Kickoff Football, who says, so happy my team Spurs. Spurs? You're a Spurs fan? I have a Spurs beanie over there somewhere. I need to give it away to a Spurs fan because I'm not going to wear it at all. Not going to wear it. Duhane Thompson is saying, Richarlison scored me 11 points in Fantasy League. I'm not involved in fantasy football, so yeah. Big up to Namdi, who says, Armstrong can score 15 goals. Can Armstrong? Well, that's a question. Well, he has one. He has one, and there's 37 games to go. So if he continues like that, he can score 15. Namdi also says he won some money from a game. And Namdi, you need to drop a super chat, man, from, because I'm pretty sure you took my advice to take that bet and win that money. I'm just kidding, though. But yeah. Anyways, big up to the boy Robert Robinson in the house, man. Big up to you. Nice to see you in here. Jordan Hyman, how are you, man? How are you? Appreciate to see you in here. Drew P. Keane was awful in the first half. But yeah, guys, give your thoughts on this game, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Big up to the boy Prime Prodigy in the house. Asian LFC. Whoever, some of these names look familiar. Is this the Asian Sensational? Maybe not. Liverpool fan from India. Okay, you're not that. Okay, good. So, Prime Prodigy, I didn't know Spurs fan were on this channel. Yeah, we got a few Spurs fans, man. That's good. That's very, very good to see. So, let me see. You can give it to me if you're not going to wear it. Yeah, I'll give it. I'm not going to wear it. I have it there. I picked it up I'll definitely get you that Spurs thing. Dalshire Football. Hi, Dom. I will tune into your lives more now. I'm a City fan and I believe in Jesus. You need to believe in Jesus after what we saw here today from City. And he should start now. I don't want Kane. Bro, we need Kane. Judging from what I saw today, we need Kane, man. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. We'll definitely appreciate that. But I don't want to stay too long on each and every fixture because we have 10 games to go through. Big up to the boy Fabio as well. Fabio, how are you doing? Look, Everton. We know how well they did last season. They were impressive in patches, fell away a bit. But Everton, another team to take lightly. And they start off with a good 3 points. Let's see what Rafa Benitez does with this team. I can't wait to see the Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool, both of them. And it's going to be an interesting season because they've always been doing some good business. Getting these players who are out of contracts. James Rodriguez. Did James Rodriguez play this game, though? Did James Rodriguez play this game? I don't know. I didn't watch the game. This is one of 8. This is one of 10 games. I watched 8 games. I didn't watch this one. Was he even on the bench? He doesn't want to play for Everton anymore now. Carlo Ancelotti's gone. But yeah, good win. I was looking at the Southampton 11, you know, and they don't look too bad. They don't look too bad at all. They have some good names in their squad. But look here, why is Redmond not starting? Why is Kyle Walker-Peters not starting? Nathan Teller, these guys did well last season. I'm surprised that Livramento and the new man at left back, Perrault, started. I'm really surprised. One thing that's very good for Southampton is that Oriol Romeo is back in the midfield. They have to keep hold of James Ward-Prowse, but the partnership at the back between Bednarek and Vestergaard has been broken up. So Southampton, I think, are going to be in a lot of trouble this season. That's a prediction that I'm going to make right now. Everton will be all right. They will fight for the Europa Conference League, but I don't expect anything more from Everton this season. So these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts on Everton. Big up to Karume, who says Southampton fluctuate too much. And we have Remy Sofola says no. James has COVID. Okay, I didn't know that. What else we have? Dane is saying Rafa is a defensive coach. All right. And that sounds like Everton are going to play some very boring football this season, though. But good win for them. Off to the right start. 3 points. Not so much for Southampton. So, guys, what we're going to do, right? We're going to move on. We're going to definitely move on. We will have a guest or two or few on pretty soon. Dave's supposed to join me. I did hit up a couple more people to join. I didn't get no response. And if you're watching right now and I hit you up to join and you ain't respond, come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Don't do that. Let's move on, man. Let us move on. So the next game I want to talk about is the game that I saw half of. And that game is between Burnley and Brighton. Burnley 1, Brighton 2. And yet again, another team comes from behind to win the game. And that's Brighton Hove and Albion, who we know could be very, very impressive. Last season, if they were able to manage games better and finish off games, they would have probably been in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. But I think they finished 16th, one place ahead of Burnley, who finished 17th. And this one always promised to be a very close, a very cagey, a very, let's say, I think I used enough words for that one already. But it's a low-profile clash, bottom table teams, and I didn't know where this one would have gone. I predicted a draw. For the Everton game, I did predict Everton to beat Southampton, by the way. Just to touch on that one, I predicted a 2-0 for Everton, and they won it, but didn't get the exact scoreline. But for the game between Burnley and Brighton, I predicted a 1-1 draw. Burnley scored first. Early goal. Tarkowski. Very controversial goal. Ashley Westwood with the corner. And Tarkowski actually pushed Neil Maupay out of the way to get to that ball. The referee deemed it to be legal. The goal stood. There was a war in the game. I'm gonna call it a war between Tarkowski and Neil Maupay. When it wasn't Neil Maupay tackling Tarkowski or shoving him, it was Tarkowski doing the opposite. So it's nice to see, though. It's nice to see. You don't want a game of football where the players are standoffish and they don't want to touch. They don't want to get too physical. We want to see feisty. We want to see physical. We want to see passionate football. And that's what you're going to get in the Premier League. So with Tarkowski scoring first, Brighton did equalize in the second half. It was a game of two halves. Let me put it that way. Because Burnley, it was all Burnley in the first half. Goodmanson hit the post. There was a clearance off the line. And Burnley, if they had taken their chances, they would have won the game. But they didn't. They scored. They played some gritty football. But in the second half, Graham Potter, Brighton, they came back in the game hard, man. 73rd minute goal by Neil Maupay, set up by Jakob Moder. And Alexis McAllister, who has been involved with the Argentina national team, both at the Copa America and the Olympics, came off the bench, set up by Pascal Gross to give Brighton the winner. This is what we want to see from Brighton. We want to see Brighton turning good performances into positive results. 3 points, not a draw. You see? So they're off to the right start. They're off to the right start. I did watch a prediction video and someone did predict Brighton to go down. I don't think Brighton are a team that's going down. Graham Potter is too much of a good manager, and the squad has these players who are not the biggest names, but they're very, very effective. And a name like Yves Bissouma come to mind. They have the new man Mwepu, who was very, very involved in the thick of things on opening day. And Shane Duffy, now with the absence of Ben White, is in the thick of things after not so successful loan stint at Celtic. Lewis Dunk, always there and about. Webster. So the team, they have a nice little team, man. And the team, I think, always looks better with Solly March in the team. Sometimes I'm like, where's Solly March? Solly March is one of those type of James Ward-Prowse kind of player, in my opinion. Doesn't get all the praises, but very, very effective. As for Burnley, man, opportunity missed, took the lead, allowed Brighton to come back in the game, and they haven't started the season off properly. When you look at the schedule, it does not look good. It doesn't look good at all for Burnley. Let's go over and let's take a look at the schedule here, and you guys would see exactly what I'm talking about. We know Sean Dyche and Burnley operate on a shoestring budget. They newly got taken over by some American investors, which means that we should see more money being injected in the club, but they've made a few signings, but they need some more. They need some more quality in this team. And I've always been saying this. Burnley need to diversify a bit more. They need to. They really have to. Where's that expansive South American player? Where's that expansive African player? Or a Frenchman or something? Come on. If you keep playing with these little bits and pieces players, you'll always struggle to survive. And they could be a team in trouble this season, even though we know Burnley always find a way to grind out results. We know this. But let's just take a look at Burnley, right? Let's just look at this. Just look at Burnley's next couple of games. You see who they play next? I know they beat Liverpool last season, but maybe that's a one-off. You see? And then they have Leeds. And we know Leeds are no joke. Everton, Arsenal. Well, Arsenal better not lose to Burnley. And then they have Leicester. So the first 5 games, let's say 1, 2, 3, about 6. First 6 games are very difficult. Very, very difficult. But we know Burnley, our team, could grind out results, pick up a shock win, a draw here and there. But I don't know, man. Seriously. It's the same old players all the time. They're easy to figure out. Easy team to figure out. And let's just see. Let's just see. Sean Dyche, I think, is in his last year of his contract. So who knows, man? Who knows? It could be the last year in the Premier League for Burnley. I don't mean to be doom and gloom. I doubt there's any Burnley fans in here watching the stream right now. But well played, Brighton. And let's see if Brighton could continue these type of performances and be consistent as the season progresses. In terms of who they play next, for Brighton, they have Watford. We'll get to Watford just now. Watford looked good in their game. Then they had Everton, Brentford, Leicester City. Not a bad fixture list for Brighton, Hove, and Albion here. So, guys, without further ado, I have my boy Dave. Dave, how are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic, Dr. D. How are you?
Nice to see you, Professor D. Professor D in the house. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm just looking forward to a new season, my friend. Opportunities, anything can happen. It's going to be a brilliant season. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than people think this season, and I just can't wait.
Yeah, you started off on the right foot. I didn't.
Well, it's early.
I don't know. It's early, but still, man.
Last season you started slowly as well, so let's relax. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. So we got a question here from Thriller. Isn't Burnley the team that flew the banner in the sky last season? We're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into this.
Don't go there.
We're not gonna get into these things right now because we know how controversial these things are, and we know how controversial. It's just all these things. I was talking to somebody about these organizations and how shady they are. All of them. You see what I'm saying? All of them. So we're not even going to get into that. So big up to my boy Trolley in the house. How you feeling, Trolley? But Dave, your thoughts on Everton and Rafa Benitez, man.
Rafa. I'll tell you what, I was a bit worried for them when they went 1-0 down against Southampton, because I actually have Southampton for the drop. I think Southampton are going to struggle this season big time. I tell you what, they came back, didn't they? Second half, 3 goals, 3-1. A bit of Rafa magic dust thrown in there. I think he's on a hiding to nothing there, to be fair, with his Liverpool links. A lot of the fans don't like him. He's gonna need to win a lot of games to, 50-50 in that crowd at Goodison. They're just a lot of them are anti-Liverpool. Let's be fair. So no matter what he does, he'll always be the Liverpool manager. So he needed to get off to a fast start. He really did. And that 3-1 yesterday, after being 1-0 down, helps. But I can't see much from Everton this year. I really can't. Even with Rafa.
Look, they're gonna be just there and about. You know what I mean? Maybe 9, mid-table. Yes, maybe Conference League. Who knows? But we know they're not a team to take lightly, though. We know that. That we know. And
no, they'll give you a game. They'll give you a game, especially at Goodison. They'll give anybody a game at
Goodison. Exactly. So we're gonna move right on, though. Any thoughts on Burnley losing to Brighton as well? Anything on that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I did a prediction show last week, and a lot of the predictions I got right. To be fair, I said Brentford would beat Arsenal. I just thought that was a shoe-in. Arsenal are all over the shop. Brentford, full of energy, first game at home. The first game, I think, in 74 years in the top flight. And that was I said Liverpool would beat Norwich. I said United to beat Leeds. I thought Spurs. I thought City would have beat Spurs, to be fair. I thought I put City down to beat them. But Spurs have a great record against City in the last few years.
Yeah.
When you look at it,
They have a number, man. They have a number.
But Burnley, I think Burnley could struggle, Dominic, this year. I mean, they've been struggling even last season, I think this could be the season where they could be in deep trouble. What do you think?
As I said, right, they have the investors, but I'm not seeing the investments in players. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's the transfer window. There's still 2 weeks left, so let's see if there's any movement. But as I said, they need to bring in one of these African players. You see what I'm saying? With flair. Who's going to get the fans excited? A South American from Colombia or wherever. So that you have that...
A JJ Okocha, someone like that. Remember for Bolton?
Listen, exactly.
Someone like that.
You know, this approach, I don't know why they always take this approach, but they need to mix things up a little bit more, and it will help. It's just this one-track mind type of football, and you're going to get figured out. You see, just like how Man City keep getting figured out all the time because we play this style that everybody has a blueprint to beat us. Burnley, they're going to struggle this season unless in the second half of the season they pull things back, because they did struggle last year and they pulled things back, especially, I don't need to remind you, but they won at Anfield. So they're the type of team that you want to write them off, but you really can't. But it's not a good start. They should have won the game.
No.
So, guys, if you're wondering, this is Dave LFC Chats. He has a YouTube channel. And if one of my mods could do me a favor and hit up the link in the chat, I'll appreciate that. If you're watching a replay, I'll be sure to put a link to Dave's channel in the chat, because Dave has been a long-time friend of this channel, and I appreciate it, Dave, because you know this YouTube thing could get lonely sometimes, and it's good to have genuine people who's always ready to say, hey man, you want to do something. It's always good, because some people, let's say some people get rich and switch. You see what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah, man. You know, some people start doing well and you don't hear from them again or whatever. But we're not going to get into the politics right about now. But look, Dave, we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to a game you just mentioned, and that's this match. Brentford 2, Arsenal 0. I did a review on the channel talking about this game, so I'm not going to be too long. But this is very, very unacceptable from a club of Arsenal's stature. Former Premier League champions and everything, and I know newly promoted teams could come up and beat you like Norwich did to City and all of that. It happens. But come on, man. Arsenal just look really light on the day, man. You look at the lineup, you're like, what is this?
Weak. Weak is the word I'd say. I mean, they were really... There was no fight in them. That's what I'd worry about with Arsenal. There's no fight there, and that's a really bad sign. You know, any game away from home in the Premier League is a tough game. Let's say you have to be up for it. You have to be up for the fight from the the first prerequisite of any game is have a bit of fight in your bloody belly. And if you don't have that, you've no bloody chance, no matter how good the players are on the pitch. But to be fair, they've no standout players on the pitch, Dominic. You know, Arsenal. I mean, we go through the great sides they had: Bergkamps, Vieiras, Ian Wright going back further, you know, these great players. I mean, Aubameyang, you can say anything you want of him, Lacazette. I don't know. I fear for. I think it's mediocrity for them, and AFTV are going to have a great season. So on YouTube.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you.
So you know what
it is. You know what it is, Dave. Like you do YouTube. You know how it is. Like, we might be looking at it and say, oh, Arsenal, they lose. But AFTV, they'll be mad. They'll be mad that they lost the game. But deep within,
they're loving it.
They'll be glad, because the negativity, it brings you more views, and views equal money, you know? So when things are and things have been bad with Arsenal for a while. It has been bad for a while. So you could just imagine the fun they having over there. They just can't wait. I saw a video from Troops, and he just wedded on Mikel Arteta. I was like, oh my God.
Shouting at the screen in a pub, though. You know what I mean?
It's
gone ridiculous. It's gone ridiculous. I mean, listen, we can all get angry, but I mean, I just think these guys do it as a day job, get angry. I mean, it's just, it's too much for me. It's too much.
It's entertainment, man. Look, I'm not questioning the fact that if he's genuine or not. I think he genuinely feels the way he feels.
Oh yeah.
But it's still the show. The show must go on. You know what I'm saying? You got to put on the show, and it's Arteta. He's looking suspect right now.
Oh, big
He's
time,
looking
man.
really suspect because
Yeah.
when you look at the team, as soon as I saw the squad, Smith Rowe, you have Martinelli, you have young Florian Balogun up top. Then you have a Nicola Pepe who has underwhelmed, and with Pepe being the older player, like the more experienced player in that attack, you expect him to step up. He did have some moments where he looked good, but he was dealt with by a very resolute Brentford defense. So you got to give it to Brentford. Brentford played some brave football. Listen, I said, okay, they were better, they were brilliant, they were busy. They are the bees. They are Brentford.
Yeah. Busy like bees, yeah.
They are Brentford, and they took the game to Arsenal. They didn't have any fear. And it wasn't any inferiority complex where, okay, we just came up, we're going to show you some respect. Brentford were disrespectful as ever.
No, but I think they sensed that. I mean, you've sensed it since last year with Arsenal. Looking at them, I mean, I don't think teams fear them anymore. That's the whole thing, isn't it? And even a team like Brentford, who had never been in the top flight for 70-odd years, you know, are saying, okay, I think we can take Arsenal here tonight. You know what I mean? Fans back and everything. It's great to see.
Pretty much. And that's the thing too. Brand new stadium. They have the stadium packed to the rafters. Home fans.
Yeah.
The home advantage is back. And for teams like Brentford, for smaller teams like Brentford, this is going to be the key. The fans, the home games. And they start off by putting out a statement, we shall not be effed with. Basically what Brentford said. Yeah. And you look at Mbeumo. This guy, listen, if Brentford survives, let's say Brentford survives the Premier League, they're in the Premier League for the next 3 seasons, Mbeumo will not be a Brentford player. This guy has flair, he has swag, and he just needs to keep working on his game, and his game will continue to improve. Because he's one of the players that really took on Arsenal, and it could have been worse. It could have definitely been worse. So in terms of goals here, in terms of goals for this game, we had Sergi Canos. Any thoughts on Canos?
Ex-Liverpool, of course. He was an ex-Liverpool youth player. Well, listen, not much thoughts on him because he was only a youth player. He didn't get much of a look in for Liverpool, to be fair. But it's always nice to see a young lad go somewhere and score a few goals, isn't it? And, you know, come on and be playing in the Premier League and starting. He actually had a very good game. He could have had a second. He probably should have had a second.
Yeah.
As you said, they could have scored more goals. They were very impressive. That guy, Tony, Ivan Tony, up front. Yeah. He looks a unit as well. So I think Brentford have a few scares in them this season. I still think they're going to struggle at the end of the season, to be fair. Even though they beat Arsenal, I still think they'll go down, Dominic.
Well, I didn't make any predictions. I'm just going to be that observer this season. Last season, I was a bit loud, and I pissed off a lot of people last season. So I'm going to use that as a lesson to just take a different approach, because I want my Liverpool fans back on the channel. You see what I'm saying? Because I really pissed off the Liverpool fans last season. I'm telling you, man. And if you're watching, I want you guys back. We need you guys here, because we need that competition. City ran away with the league, and I got real feisty. Some people may say I got nasty, but I was just being very passionate, you know, and I was just talking facts. I was just reviewing the games just the way I saw it. And Liverpool weren't very good for most of the season. They finished off the season strongly, and they start very, very well. But just to finish up on this game here, Sergi Canos, 22nd minute, very poor defending by Arsenal. And you look at their defense, Ben White. I feel bad for Ben White. That's what you call a baptism of fire.
Yeah.
And you see Ben White Ben White has some bags under his eyes, right? I don't know if he has the bags from staying up playing FIFA all night, but I don't think those bags are going anywhere anytime soon. There'll be a lot of sleepless nights as an Arsenal player.
Listen, it was a big move for the young lad. What, 50 million, I think it was?
50 million.
I still think he'll come good. Is he worth 50? Probably not. I mean, just some of the money is ridiculous for players.
English tax.
Yeah. That's about 30 or 40% added on. But I mean, Listen, I think it'll come good. It's one of those games. I think Arsenal have to brush themselves down, not think too much about it, and just go again. But as you said, they've a tough run. I think Arsenal, and I think Arteta is in trouble, big trouble, especially if he loses the next game.
I've been saying the same thing. I echo your thoughts. Your thoughts. So just to finish this Brentford Arsenal thing off, just in terms of who scored. You had Ethan Pinnock with the assist, because after the ball was cleared by Callum Chambers, who I don't understand why he's playing at right back when you have Nuno Tavares, who can play at right back. You have Bellerin on the field, on the bench. I know he might be on his way out, and you may not want to risk him getting injured and then he's stuck at the club. But there's also Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who can play at right back. Maybe there's a situation with him where he has to leave the club as well. There's Cedric, though. You see what I'm saying? So there were other options that you could have played at right back, but you go with Callum Chambers, who I think is a championship quality player at most. I know it might be harsh, but he has to step his game up. Pablo Mari, in my opinion, isn't good enough. He's a Man City reject. He's not good enough. In my opinion, he is not good enough. When Arsenal had the opportunity to get rid of Granit Xhaka, what they did, they give him a new contract. So you could see the thinking here. Arsenal are a club, it seems like they're going through a regression. They won the FA Cup and you're like, yay, Mikel. Oh my God, he learned a lot from Pep. But people are saying he's overthinking like Pep now. And it's having adverse effects on the results of Arsenal. 8th, 2 times in a row. This is unacceptable for a team who went invincible in the Premier League. Unacceptable. So the second goal, 73rd minute, Christian Norgard, set up by Mads Sorensen. And Brentford with a Danish manager, Thomas Frank. They have a lot of Scandinavian players in their team. And these guys are very, very gritty.
Yeah.
Very gritty.
They're well known for, aren't they? The Scandinavians, strong. It's cold up north, as they say. So they always were. But I still fear for. Look, Brentford, first game, it's lovely. It's romantic. It's a romanticism. It's a romantic of the Premier League. But the hard slog, in the winter, the hard slog, the new season, players fighting. I still think for Brentford to stay in the Premier League is like winning the bloody cup. You know what I mean? For them, it would be huge, and I think they'll struggle. Like when it comes to even itself out, I really do. Do you not think?
Look,
I know you're not going to get into it. I know you're not going to get into it.
Judging from the first match, I have to say, Brentford, you did good. You did good. Yeah. You picked up 3 points in a game where I thought that they were going to lose. My prediction was a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Brentford kept a clean sheet. David Raya, their goalkeeper, very quality performance as well. The entire team, stand up. You did well. You did well. I take my cap off to this Brentford team. And listening to what Thomas Frank was saying on the principles of the team, how they recruit their players, they seem like a club that are destined for success. A brand new stadium. They're very ambitious, and what a way to start. Arsenal casualties. So there's a question. There's a question.
It was like an episode of MASH. It was like an episode of MASH from the 70s. You know what I mean? And I think Arsenal, a lot of soul searching. I mean, where are they going as a club? Never mind that result. I mean, where are they going as a club? That's the bigger question, I think, for Arsenal going forward.
Question for you, Dave. $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Thriller. Guys, remember, super chats are open, and feel free to drop a super chat. It helps to support the channel, and it helps to show, to say, hey, man, I appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing your thing, because it's a grind out here. So, guys, don't be scared of the super chat button, and support creators. Not even myself, but every creator out here doing their thing and putting in the time and effort. Question for you, Dave. Is this season Naby Keita and Ox's final chance to prove themselves to Jurgen Klopp?
Simple answer, a long-winded answer is yes. Naby Keita, of course, started with Ox yesterday in the midfield, which everybody was surprised at. Naby Keita, listen, I mean, he's been injured more times than, he gets injured playing the PlayStation. I mean, this guy, we just got to keep him fit. I think he's got bags of potential. He was at Leipzig. I don't know if you remember him playing for RB Leipzig. He was one of the best players for RB Leipzig. It was nearly 60 million, so he wasn't a cheap signing. I thought he was the missing piece in Liverpool's jigsaw when we signed him. But he's only played 52 games in 3 seasons. That is just not enough games. It's not enough games for me. It's crazy.
That's Benjamin Mendy type numbers.
It's Benjamin Button type numbers. But I mean, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not good enough. If we can keep this boy fit for even 75% of the season, it'd be like a new bloody signing. I know fans don't like hearing that, but it really would. He gives us that dynamism in midfield. He's on his days, I'm telling you, this guy can do anything. He can score goals, he can tackle, he can run with the ball, he's got everything. But the key to Naby is fitness. Is this going to be his last season at Liverpool? I think if he struggles this season, I think he's gone next season. Simple answer to that one. Oxlade-Chamberlain the same. Another man that gets injured getting out of bed. So Oxlade-Chamberlain's the very same. He had a very good pre-season, like Naby Keita. So that's probably why Klopp said, listen, I'm going to give you the chance here with Henderson, Fabinho and Naby, or Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago just not ready to start. And Curtis Jones was out with a slight concussion thing, so he's available next week. This was the chance for the boys. Naby did okay, but Ox, unfortunately, just didn't work yesterday. He didn't do much in the game. He's a bit of a passenger. This is his big season too. He's got to stay fit. These two boys stay fit. It's like two new signings, but I just can't tell you if they're going to stay fit. I just can't.
That is exactly what I said. That's the key to Liverpool's success this season. If everyone stays fit. And I don't know if I got enough credit for what I made a little video talking about what Liverpool's season could look like. And I don't personally think that Liverpool are going to Liverpool are going to blow away the Premier League and they're going to win the title. They can.
Yeah, the possibility is there. The possibility, if they can keep our spine fit, we can keep the key players fit at the right times, I think we've got a very good season coming up. And that's the key, fitness, for me.
Yep. And that you were spot on. You were spot on with that answer about Ox and Naby Keita, because we know that these players have a lot of potential. We saw what Naby Keita could do even with Liverpool and while he was at RB Leipzig. And we know what Oxlade-Chamberlain is. We know what he's capable of doing. He's a talent.
Yeah.
So pretty much, spot on there. And thank you very much, Thriller, for that question. Dave, we're going to keep it moving. And the next game that we want to talk about, Leicester 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Yep. Foxes versus the Wolves. Any thoughts on this one? Jamie Vardy with the goal in the 41st minute.
A lovely goal, actually. A lovely flick over the keeper. He ran across the box, and it went this way. Yeah. I have Vardy nearly every year. I have him in my fantasy football team. So, listen, I think Leicester City, I mean, last season they should have finished top 4. I think that was a big thing. I thought they should have done it. They deserved to probably finish top 4. They just dropped away in the last few games. They won the FA Cup. And by most people and Leicester City fans, I know a few of them, that was a very good season, finishing 5th and an FA Cup. That was a great season, you know. But I think they've got a really good team, a really good spine to their team. They're from the goalkeeper. They signed Vestergaard for Southampton. That's another great signing. With Sonshu there, they've got a great midfield. Even Maddison can't even get in. They've Tillemans there. I mean, they've got a proper team. And up front, of course, they've got Vardy, Harvey Barnes. I'm expecting big things from Leicester City this season. I really am. And that was a great win. 1-0. Wolves tried. I watched this game. I think they tried, but they just lacked that end product, man. They just lacked that decisive. They weren't that cutting edge. Yeah, cutting edge in the final third, and that decision making was lacking on the day, because Wolves did not deserve to lose this game. Yeah, it could have been a draw. Could have been a draw easily.
Exactly. And this is their first Premier League match under Portuguese manager Bruno Lage. Yeah. And I think they put out a good performance. Adama Traore has to score those chances. And that's been the criticism for Traore. He looks good. He's linked to Liverpool. He's linked to City. He's linked back to Barcelona. He's linked to Real Madrid. He gets called up to the Spanish national team. And then you're 1v1 with the goalkeeper. And instead of blasting the ball or a cheeky chip over the keeper, you side foot. He had 2 opportunities that he could have scored. And I think in this game, the big chances fell to the wrong player. They should have fell to Jimenez, who's now back.
Yeah.
But they fell to one of the worst finishers in the Premier League, Adama Traore.
Well, I'll tell you a thing about Adama Traore. He reminds me of going into a 5-star restaurant for a nice meal, and you order the nicest meal on the menu, and you're sitting down in anticipation for your taste buds to taste it and say this is going to be a wondrous meal, and it just doesn't turn out to be the meal you thought, and you paid for. That's him for me. He looks good. He looks good on the plate, but it just doesn't taste good, and he cannot finish. That's the problem with him.
Basically. Yeah. Spot on, man. Spot on. But I think Wolves will struggle this season, just like they did last season. I don't think they will get relegated. There's enough quality there. But they just look like a team who, obviously, they are in transition. They have their best player in Raul Jimenez now coming back from an injury. Pedro Neto is out with a long-term injury. He will be back soon. And they just try to find their feet under a new manager.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be all right. As I said, the quality is there, but they will have this similar season they had last year, or even a little worse. But I think they'll just survive. You gotta talk about Francisco Trincao coming in from Barcelona. He had a quality game, a few nice dribbles, go around a few players. He looked good. Maybe if a few chances fell to him and not Traore, they would have put him in the back of the net. Joao Moutinho, Neves is still there.
Yeah,
to give you that.
Neto.
Yeah, Neto is injured right now, but just to give you that backbone. Connor Cody, Roman Saiz, these guys play their hearts out. Keanu Hoover, it was nice to see him out in the field. Remember, there's new goalkeeper in Jose Sa. So the team is transitioning, so I won't worry too much about Wolves. But you have Nelson Semedo on the bench and Hoover getting the nod ahead of Semedo. So you could tell how talented Keanu Hoover, the former Liverpool youngster, is.
Yeah.
But I think Wolves will be okay. But
absolutely. Yeah. I think the Wolves weren't held yesterday, but I think they'll be okay. And probably maybe a 12-13 finish, something like that, place finish. I think Leicester have better days coming. I think they're a decent outfit, and they will possibly get 5th or 6th again, something like that, around the outsides of the top 4. They won't get top 4 though.
Yeah, the Leicester fans won't like you saying that. They need to get top 4 this time around.
I'm just being realistic, that's all. I think the top 4 is the same as last year, Dominic.
Yeah, but look, Dave. Leicester City. I haven't really shared my thoughts on this Leicester team. I talked big about Leicester in the preview. Yeah. I expected them to win the game. They won the game. But this team, they're looking good. But I think the key for Leicester is what Brendan Rodgers has to do, his selection. I would like to see Kelechi Iheanacho more than Ayoze Perez. I think if you see that, you'll have a more attacking Leicester. A player who plays with more passion. I think Perez goes through the motions a lot. He might have this game where he scores a few goals, but he goes through the motions.
He's hot and cold.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you gotta give them the plaudits for their signings. Boubakary Soumare, and they brought in Yannick Vestergaard just after Fofana picked up that horrible injury. And there's Patson Daka, who didn't even make his Premier League debut. They didn't need him because you have Jamie.
I like Daka. Yeah. I think Liverpool were interested in him for a while. He's a proper player. He'll get goals.
Daka is slippery, very, very slippery.
Yep.
Maddison. I think Maddison should stay where he is and not go to Arsenal. Sorry, Arsenal fans, but I think Maddison.
Arsenal could be panicking buying now in the next 2 weeks. I'm telling you, they could panic. Could be panicked into buying somebody. That's what could happen.
Right about now, it would be a downgrade for Maddison if he goes to Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Of course it's a downgrade, yeah. Of course. But I'm just saying Arsenal might offer Leicester money they can't turn down and just be panicking. They need to appease the fans and make them look like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what can happen.
But quality team, Leicester, Soyuncu at the back. Ricardo Pereira had a quality game. Kasper Schmeichel, the constant in the team. And Leicester looking like they're going to do the business this season. Are they going to get top 4 or they're going to place 5th? It's just left to be seen, and it's just left to see how they're going to manage playing in the Europa League and playing Premier League at the top level. But they have done the sign, they have brought in the players, and they have prepared themselves to execute this. So, look, Dave, we don't want to be too long. I think we did pretty good. Okay. We did pretty good on giving Leicester and Wolverhampton Wanderers a lot of shine here. And we're going to move on. Are you ready to talk about the Reds? Are you ready? Look at
this behind me, baby.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about the Reds, but let's talk about your rivals.
Let's
Manchester
talk about United. Baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Oh, man, don't rub it in my face.
Let's go,
please,
baby.
Listen, bro. Do not rub it in my face, man. Do not rub it in my face. But big up to everybody in the chat right now. Cop On Podcast. Thank you for coming through. Ask, would you agree that this season is all about the top 5? Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, and Leicester. Spurs and Arsenal are not in the race for top 4. Well, look, man, after that first game here where City lost to Spurs, I'm not going to write off Spurs, man. I ain't going to do that. I don't want to look.
What?
I'm not writing off Spurs, man. I'm not. Because
did you see this guy, Cop On Podcast? That's my friend Owen.
Okay.
A great podcast, guys. Top class podcast.
All right. So maybe one of these days you could come on the channel, Cop On. So
he would,
hit me up on Twitter and we'll work something out to get you on the show, man. This show is gonna be running all season long. So we got 38 match weeks.
All night long.
All night.
All night. All night. All night long. Yeah.
But look, man, listen, 38, that's what, 76 episodes I have planned for you. Maybe I'll cut a few short because we have some crazy schedules. But a lot of opportunities. So if there's anybody interested in coming on and you're serious about coming on, hit me up on Twitter. We talk and we get you on here to hear what you got to say. So, look, I think it's too early. It's too early because there might be a team in there that might do something. Leeds might want to say something. And we're going to talk about that game right about now, though. Let us talk about that game. Leeds 1, Manchester United 5. Dave, what are your thoughts here?
I actually watched that game, and what I took from it is two things. One, United look good going forward, and Leeds look terrible at the back. I mean, it could have been, to be honest, it could have been nearly 8 or 9. It could have been 8 or 9. I mean, United a few other chances. Obviously, Fernandes got a hat-trick and 4 assists from Pogba. But they were all over the shop, Leeds. They were back in it at 1-1. They were back in it, and I was saying, here, game on, let's go. Second half, it just kicked off. Dallas equalised 1-1, and then all of a sudden, 2-3 minutes later, just fell apart. When that goal went in 2-1, there was only going to be one winner. Quick succession, 2-3 goals real quick, game was over. The crowds were great to see back, to be fair. Even though it was Old Trafford, it was lovely to see fans back screaming, and I think that's a big difference this season. It's going to be huge. It's going to make a huge difference to the connotations that are going to line up, because I think it really is. The fans are huge, and United look good. Are they going to win the league? I don't. I still have City as slight. I'd still have City as slight favourites, and I'd have probably Liverpool just slightly ahead of them. But I think they're top 3. United,
not United.
Man United.
Listen,
Man United.
Man United, a snake oil salesman. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like when you watch those old Western movies.
Yeah, I do.
There's this guy in there want to sell the elixir, that super potion. That's Man United. That's Ole. Ole's at the wheel. They look good.
Yeah.
They're on top of the league, and then when it matters, they fall by the wayside. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but look, I'm not going to take them lightly. You never know. Yeah. But we've seen this happen last season. They beat Leeds 6-2 last season, the first match, and they do the business again. This was an impressive performance by United. I watched 8 games out of 10, and this one was entertainment to the fullest.
Yeah. No, it was a good game.
Entertainment to the fullest, because we got a lot of goals. We got 6 goals, and we should not, as fans, we should not be ungrateful. That's a whole lot of goals here. But Bruno Fernandes, set up by Pogba. It was the Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba show. Look, I have notes written down for this game. I was supposed to actually talk about this match, but I was at work, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'll just wait until I do the roundup to actually touch on this. But from my notes, the goal. Poor goal kick by Millier. Pogba gets it, picks up Bruno Fernandes, who does the biz. Millier gets a hand to it, but it goes into the back of the net. United celebrate. Bruno Fernandes slides across the field. Very expansive celebration, and it's an open play goal for Bruno Fernandes. He actually shut up the critics. Bruno Fernandes actually scored a hat-trick from open play. Do you believe this?
No.
Do you actually believe this?
I think it's a matrix. I don't think it's possible. But of course, I mean, I seen the game, but I mean, it was 3 good goals, actually, 3 good finishes, to be fair. 3 really good finishes.
Look, United, very dangerous in the game, and that goal was merited. But when Luke Ayling scored that goal, set up by Stuart Dallas, when Luke Ayling scored that goal, the Leeds fans went crazy. You couldn't contain the Leeds fans, because we know this is a derby of roses. Yeah, the Roses derby.
Battle of the Roses, yeah.
White Roses versus Red Roses, the Roses derby, and these fans, they don't like each other. No. And I think the celebration happened a little bit too early, and it's like after they scored, the wheels just fell off, man. United just took them
once
to
the second
cleaners.
goal went. See, the problem is you're most vulnerable when you've scored, haven't you? Isn't that the famous saying? You're at most vulnerable and relaxed. So within 3 minutes, obviously Mason Greenwood steps up. I'll tell you, you've had a bad day when Fred Flintstone scores against you.
Exactly.
That's when he scores against you. You ain't coming back, baby.
Exactly. But look, that second goal though, Pogba with the assist again. If you see how Mason Greenwood outran Pascal Strike, just the youth and the pace, just the skill of Greenwood to just outrun. He outran him like he wasn't. And I'm like, God damn. You see what I mean? Yeah. And that was a quality finish as well. Quality finish.
No, that was a proper finish into the bottom corner, in off the post. Proper
2 minutes later, Pogba added again. What a pass, though. What a pass to Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And it's like Leeds just fell. It just fell apart. Fell apart totally. Fred with the goal, Fred with the next goal, and then Bruno Fernandes completed his hat trick. I think that was the first time hit after the Lindelof pass. That was a brilliant pass by Lindelof, who might just lose his place in the starting 11 to Rafael Varane, who just signed to United. If you want to hear about the signings and all of that, we actually I touched on the signings in the previews. So when I do my next preview, I will talk about any other new signing that happened between now and then. So 4-1, and then Fred steps up and does the business, set up by Paul Pogba, man. This was a good performance.
Listen, I mean, it's unusual, as you just said, for Fernandes to score from open play in 1 goal is mainly a penalty free kick taker, isn't he? But score a hat-trick, he actually could have had 4, Fernandes, to be fair. Paul Pogba could have had a goal and 4 assists. I mean,
Pogba should have scored, though. That opportunity,
Pogba should have scored.
A little. He needed to keep things simple, but he didn't. We know Pogba.
He tried a fancy flick or something. I don't know what he was trying to do. But listen, it was impressive from United. As you said, I mean, they could go into the next game and lose it. You just don't know what to expect from United, do you? On their day, they're brilliant. But will they have enough on their day games in the season? That's the question. That's the big question.
I think for United, they'll always be up there. They'll always be up there. But are they gonna win the title? That's just the question that they need to answer.
Yeah.
I don't need to answer. They need to answer that question, because since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, that was it.
Yeah.
That was
no
it.
More leagues. No more leagues.
Exactly. That was it. So, but that was a quality performance. Bullying Leeds United, who, like last season, looked very suspect at the back. I think Rafinha didn't have a good game. He looked very, very rusty. Robin Koch, man, again, looked really, really suspect. I know his game did improve at the back of the last season, but for Leeds United, I think they just all over the place in that their players play in a lot of different positions. So you have Rafinha playing as like a kind of wing-back role. You have Dallas, who these guys could. You have Koch in the midfield. You have Koch, who does play as a centre-back sometimes. You have Click, who does play a more defensive role, sometimes more attacking role. You have Rodrigo, who's midfield, who does play as a striker at times. So I think they were just all over the place. They missed Calvin Phillips, and we know whenever Calvin Phillips doesn't play, they look very suspect. We had a Premier League debut by Junior Firpo, who just left Barcelona as well. And also a Premier League debut on the other side for Jadon Sancho. Nemanja Matic, who I don't know why he's still at Man United. But these are the reasons why Man United are not going to win the title, I think. When you have guys like Matic, when you have Donny van de Beek bringing him in and not even getting him on the field when you're 5-1 up, these are the decisions.
I think the reason they're not going to win is because of the manager. I think it's the manager. If you had a top of the range manager there, the likes of Tuchel, the likes of Klopp, the likes of Pep, if you're the top of the range, I think they'd have a really good chance to win the league, to be fair.
Well said. And the manager. And I don't understand. I don't understand why would you give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer such a big contract extension. Like I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. But let's see if this is the season where they turn their fortunes around. Dave, do you think that Bielsa and Leeds are going to have second season syndrome? Basically, just came back to the Premier League. Are they going to pull a Sheffield United, or do you think they're going to be okay?
They'll be okay. They've did too much quality, especially at Ellen Road as well. It's a hard place to go. You just got to tighten up defensively, and I think they'll be mid-table, about 10th, something like that. Again. Yeah, they'll be okay.
Again. So Coach Marcelo Bielsa recently extended his contract, so he goes year by year when it comes to his contract. So let's see if he'll be there if Leeds do survive the drop. It's good to have Leeds in the league. I like watching Leeds. They play some very, very attractive football.
Passionate fans as well.
Definitely. And now we have the fans back. It'll make things a little bit more interesting.
It's going to be great. Yep. Can't wait.
So we have Gaylord Hubstable who's saying, what a goal by Ayling. That was a quality goal.
Wow.
Quality goal.
Yeah. It didn't mean anything in the end, but it was a beautiful strike. It was a beautiful strike in the ball.
Indeed.
Absolutely beautiful. There were some lovely goals in that game, to be fair.
Jason Jordan, yo, Dom, hello. Hope you're well. Not a good day, but we move on. It's a start. We need a striker. So bad anyways. I'm going to be at work. Keep up the live. I'll rewatch it later. Thank you for coming through, man. Big up to the boy Julian in the house. Chicken Man in the house as well. Big up to Thriller from Manila, who says, I think Son is ready to put Spurs on his back. He's a generational talent. Yeah, Sonny was good today, man.
What a goal, son.
Yep. Sean Virgil. Big up to everybody, man. Patrick Rakama. Big up everybody in the chat. Paul in the house. O'Dane Mafia. Everybody in here right now. If I'm not shouting you out, don't feel no way. Still happy to have you in here. Big up to NW Choli, who says, coming out of Denmark, by the way, who says, Ole is the manager who have done the best for Man United in a long time. He seems to have figured out how to get the best out of Pogba. Bro, for a club of Man United's size and their history...
They want trophies. They want trophies, baby.
This is not good enough. This is not good enough. This is settling for mediocrity. And listen, man, if there's a room... If a room has, let's say, 3 hot chicks and there's 10 girls in the room, there's 3 hot ones and there's 7 not so hot ones, what are you going to go for? Are you going to go for the not so hot ones because it's easy? It might be easier. So you're like, nah, I'm not going to. No, you go for the hottest chick in the room. You who knows? You just might be lucky. You feel me? I remember when I met my wife, I was at the airport, man. I saw this girl over there. I'm like, God damn. You see what I'm saying?
Whoa!
I'm going to go over there and shoot my shot. And I went over there and shoot my shot, and she's upstairs right now. You see what I'm saying? So,
get her on. You got to get her on, baby.
Listen, Ole got to shoot his shot. He got to shoot his shot. He has to mean business. The players got to mean business. David De Gea back in goal again. You see what I'm saying? So, are they going to stick with David De Gea, or are you going to have a swisheroo with De Gea Henderson? Know what you want to do. I don't think you could win the title with Fred and McTominay as your holding midfielders. I don't think that's going to happen.
No. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They've one or two areas. Listen, Sancho was a good signing. I'd say he'd be decent enough. Varane, of course, at centre half. Him and the Fridge probably at the back. Be like something out of Iceland. The two of them. So he will make a difference to them. But do they have enough? I mean, there's a big thing hanging around his neck that he hasn't won a trophy. I mean, Villarreal, I thought they were going to do it there. I thought they should have did it there. Didn't do it. So that was a big one for me that they didn't win that. I don't know. Dave, I just don't know what to say about United.
Villarreal, that was the opportunity. Villarreal.
Yeah.
Man United versus Villarreal. You'll bet 100 times on United to beat Villarreal, but they went and lost. They found a way to lose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just don't trust the team, man. Even though they're my rivals, they're your rivals. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I just don't trust Ole at the wheel, man. Listen, if I'm going on a road trip and it's 15-hour drive, I'm driving. Ole, be a passenger. You're not going at the wheel. I'm driving.
You're in the boot, baby. You're in the boot.
I'm driving. So the next game will be against Southampton. And then they have Wolves. But we know they could drop off. We know that. The next 4 fixtures, they could go on to win them. They have Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle, West Ham, Villa, Everton. Yeah. Man United could go on a serious run until they meet Liverpool October 24th. Yeah. They could go on a really serious run. Yeah. But as we know, they're inconsistent. And they're going to drop points when
you don't expect it. You don't expect it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As for Leeds United, just before we move on, the next game will be against Everton. Then they play Burnley, kind of fixtures, and then they meet the mighty Reds. Mm-hmm. You knew I was getting at that.
Yep.
So, look, Dave, we got to touch on Liverpool. Let's talk. While I have you here and you're fresh, we only an hour 12 minutes in. We want to wrap up. I don't want today's stream to be 2 hours and 75 minutes. That's 3 hours and 15 minutes for you guys who are not that good at math. But we don't want to be here for super long. All right? I got things to do. You got things to do. And we got to hang out with our beautiful wives as well. And I know you in the chat, you got to hang out with your beautiful wives and your husbands. Because some people do have husbands. Right? Am I right?
Some people.
Some people do have
my wife has a husband.
Exactly. My wife has a lovely husband as well. Yeah. So, yeah. So, big up to Mr. York in the house who says, I think Ollie is a passenger. Man U's management team, to be frank, probably Phelan and others in charge, and Ollie's just a front. Okay. Point taken. So, look, Dave, we're going to talk about Liverpool. Liverpool 3, Norwich City 0. You expected to win this game, didn't you?
Yeah, I said 2-0 the podcast midweek. I expected us to beat. We have a good record against Norwich. It was a little easier than I thought it would have been. I was a bit disappointed. Pukki had 1 or 2 chances. Alisson saved them early on. But they didn't really do enough from corners and stuff like that. And once Jota scored, Diogo.
Well, listen,
Jota.
Could you get it right, please? Take your time. Diogo.
No, I call him Jota's Gota the Lotta. He's got everything, baby. When he got that goal, I think there was only going to be one winner.
That was a lucky goal, though.
Well, it was. I think Salah tried to tried that, and it just slipped
Yeah.
off Salah's foot. Yeah, but you know what it was? It was a
wasn't
good
meant to be.
control take from Jota, and then the finish, bang.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Bang,
you
bang.
know, Salah plays that selfish type of football a lot, you know. But
Well-
the gods, the football gods, just didn't want him to have that one. He had it later, but it wasn't meant to be. So he tried to control it, and it went to Jota. And
Yeah.
thank God for the Liverpool fans, he put it in, and you guys were on your way.
I'll tell you what, listen, Jota got injured halfway through this. He was on fire when we signed him. On fire he was. He couldn't miss. Every shot went in. He got a bit of an injury, didn't come back quite right. End of the season, started scoring again. This guy is gonna, if he stays fit, he's gonna be scoring goals for us. It's just a great option to have. I mean, Bobby came on then second half for Jota and scored. And Salah with the assist. So 2 assists from Salah, if you want to call the other one an assist.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's great to have Bobby scoring. I mean, Firmino, that's the one big thing with Liverpool fans is he doesn't score enough goals. And I think yesterday, Mane, Salah, Jota, who started, were actually very, very good. And I'm expecting a big season for Mane too. And if you have a good season from at least 2 of them, I think we'll be okay. And we didn't have that last season. Salah carried them last season, the 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mane looked good. Your front 3 looked really good yesterday, and your defense looked resolute. I was very impressed with Matip. He does not get the credit he deserves, but Matip played a good game yesterday. Van Dijk, we know how solid he is, and you guys have to keep your fingers crossed with the Van Dijk thing. You have to manage his workload. I don't want to see, well, maybe, but I'm saying we shouldn't be seeing Van Dijk in these little games. We shouldn't be seeing Van Dijk in, let's say, some Champions League games that you should win. You see what I mean? I know everybody wants to play Champions League, but let's say you're playing like a Midfield like last season. Come on, you can't play Van Dijk in. You got
Jota. We played Jota and he got injured. That was the problem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, with a Van Dijk, you rest him in the games that you know this is a team that we're gonna beat. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I know. Klopp likes his continuity in his spine, though, doesn't he? He likes that spine continuity.
The thing is, you can't do that. The team looks very frail coming from last season. Where's Henderson? Where is Henderson?
Henderson's coming back from an injury, my friend. Henderson ain't ready.
Where's Robertson?
Injured. 3 weeks.
Klopp has to trust the players, and he has to trust Tsimikas more. And I think Tsimikas put out a good performance.
Yeah.
He made a little mistake. It wasn't costly. But you could see he's trying. Tsimikas looks like he has not been sleeping, and he has been up playing. It looks like he's been up playing FIFA all night.
I was impressed with Tsimikas. As you said, Liverpool need him to step up because Robertson's out now probably till the international break in September, and we always struggled in that position. I mean, Milner can play there and stuff like that, but that's not the answer. I think Tsimikas just did a professional job. Nothing spectacular. 1 or 2 great balls in. But I mean, that's all we need him to do. Do his bloody job and defend. Just defend.
He did good, but Tsimikas is a better attacking player than he is in defense. He even got a shot off at goal. That was saved. But I think he's better going forward than he is at the back. He made a little error at the back that was almost costly, but if Norwich had a bit more quality in the team, it would have turned out a little different. Because Liverpool are a team that do give you the opportunity.
Oh, you'll get a chance against us.
Yeah,
you have to take it, though. You have to take it.
You definitely have to take it because you know when Liverpool get their chances, they're going to take their chances, and that's what they did on the day. Yeah. Jota with the goal in the 26th minute. A fortuitous goal, but nevertheless, it's a goal. The change, when Norwich was still in the game at 1-0, when Klopp brought on Firmino and Fabinho, and he made those changes, you saw the Firmino goal came, and you could see the way Bobby Firmino executed that goal, set up by, it was Mane, Salah, and Firmino linking up. And Salah not being selfish, squaring that ball.
It was a lovely ball, actually, by Salah.
Yep, lovely ball. And great finish by Firmino. And then Salah, typical Salah goal, man. Typical Look, I know he's a Liverpool player, but Salah is a baller. And I know he has his ways, but when Salah steps up to take a penalty, when Salah has an opportunity in front of goal, he does not play around. If this was a City player, they would have looked for somebody to pass the ball to. Oh yeah, let me see if I could pass it to him or pass it back over there.
Pass it to the goalkeeper.
Basically. But Salah, that Salah just hits it, man.
What a finish.
He hits
what
them.
a finish. I'll tell you what. Let me talk about Mo Salah, the king of Egypt. Okay, I'll tell you what. 98 Premier League goals in 159 Premier League games. I think he's 9 million assists. He got 2 assists yesterday and a goal. Could add a second, to be fair. But Liverpool are different when he's on the pitch. When he's off the pitch, that's when you realise how good he is. When he's not bloody playing.
I was just
unbelievable.
I was just about to say that. Imagine Liverpool without a Mo Salah right now. Liverpool must do all they can, and I mean all they can, to hold Salah down to a long-term contract. If any team wants him, they would have to pay a big premium. Listen, Salah, I know there's been debates who's better, Salah, Mane, who's more important. We know the answer. We're not going to get into this.
No, Salah is the icon. It's a worldwide icon.
Look,
Salah.
Mane does have his days, but Salah is the more consistent player.
Yeah.
Salah is the most consistent player, and he will be key. And he is very consistent. He hardly gets injured as well. So Mo Salah,
never injured.
Mo
He's
Salah
unbelievable. And I'll tell you another thing for Salah as well. I heard a thing yesterday that it's possibility he might sign an extension next week. He's 2 years. He's 2 years left. He's 2 years left. 2023. As you know, Liverpool are tying down all their elite players, the likes of Trent, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Alisson, all signed extensions, 4 and 5 year extensions. Salah, Mane, and Robertson are the next 3, and Henderson, of course, who need to sign. We need to sign them down, and Salah, I'd say, will be the next big one.
Quality, Dave. What are your thoughts on your midfield, man? Ox, Keita, Milner. I think I think when I saw that, I was like, I don't know, but they did okay.
Well, okay, let's be real. When Henderson's fit, when Fabinho's fit, and when Thiago's fit, I think Klopp will rather go with those 3, especially for the big games. I mean, that's a nice 3. If Fabinho on his day is unbelievable. Thiago, we know what he can do. And Henderson is the captain. So I think that's the 3. But look, it's just lovely having options, Dominic. We didn't have options last year. We didn't have them.
That is exactly why my approach this season is a little different than last season. I'm not writing you guys off. All I'm saying, once you have your boys fit, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I'm going to put it out there right now. It's going to be a problem. I know City, 3 titles in 4 years. Bam. I'm a City fan, whatnot. But we saw what happened against Spurs. We're going to get into that just now. Liverpool will be a force if everyone's fit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying that all season.
That's the key for me. It's not even who comes in or who leaves in the next 2 weeks. It's actually keep the spine fit, keep the quality, the elite players fit, and we'll have a good chance.
Dave, Alisson, great performance again. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he looked good. Both going forward.
He's filled out. He's filled out. Do you notice that? Did you?
I like the hair too, though. The hair. Listen to what I'm about to say. The way he's carrying himself right now with the hair, that shows a confident young man. Yeah. For you to grow your hair out and be like, it's like a crown. It's like a crown. He's a confident man, and he means business. Missing out on the Euros, he wants to bounce back hard. He means business. Watch out.
Yep.
And with Trent Alexander playing well, you know Liverpool are going to be playing well. So, before we move on, your thoughts on Norwich City?
To be honest, they were busy. They were busy. They had 1 or 2 really good chances. As you know, Alisson pulled off a great save. I know it was the 85th minute. It was like a treble save. It wouldn't have mattered anyway if it went in. But Pukki had 1 or 2 chances in the first half. Didn't take them. They were straight at Alisson. I to be fair now, I'm not being funny, but I think they'll go down again. I think they're a yo-yo club. Unfortunately, Delia Smith doesn't make cakes anymore. Her cakes aren't nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're in trouble.
Listen,
I think they're in trouble.
you're spot on with that, because the Norwich fans didn't like my analysis of the team, but I think I was spot on with the prediction that they'll lose the game. They had moments, but they lacked the quality. Todd Cantwell, he looks a good player. He's very determined. He's very determined, and Cantwell needs to move on. I'm just going to put it out there.
Aston Villa.
As harsh as it sounds, Norwich, if you look at their signings, and the Norwich City fans were trying to argue with me about the Zolis kid and another player and a few other players who played Europa League. Look, they came to Norwich, they got an opportunity to play in the Premier League. They probably get in a better wage than what they got in Greece or in France in terms of Leeds Melou. And they want to take up the challenge. But if you look at the signings, they're championship signings, in my opinion. They're players who would do well in the championship. They would come up, they would go back down. They would do well again, they would go back down. That's just the type of club Norwich City are right now.
Yeah.
When you start attracting or keeping your best players, or attracting very good players and hold on to them, then and only then you start getting the respect. For right now, you ain't getting the respect right now. Respect is not out here. You have to earn it. It's not out here given away for free. You got to earn that respect. And good start to the season. You have Burnley next, and that game will be a home match. You have the fans back. Do you think it could be a repeat of what happened last year, Dave? How confident are you about beating Burnley?
Oh, you're super confident. Fans back, 12:30 kickoff at Anfield. They be screaming. I mean, our players are ready to rock. We're all fit. Curtis Jones and all will be back. The only player missing will be Robertson, if anything doesn't happen midweek, of course. No, I'd say we win that about 3-0.
So you're predicting a 3-0 over Burnley. Yeah. Burnley, I think you guys will do the business as well. I'll share my predictions later on in the week. But I think you guys will be okay against Burnley, who did not get off to a good start this season, losing to Brighton and Hove Albion. But Dave, thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next fixture and just finish off today's roundup. We have a few more to touch on. Nothing. Let me see. We got to talk about. we almost done. We got to touch on Chelsea. We got to touch on Watford. We got 4 more, but let's run through these two really quick. We got Watford 3.
Wow.
Aston Villa 2. Aston Villa 2. Let me just get that one on the screen right now, and we'll talk about that one really quick. We don't have to be too long-winded on that. You could give me your thoughts on that, and then we move on. And I have to say I'm surprised. I'm stunned. This result stunned me, and I have to give it to Watford. They stunned me. But let me hear your thoughts.
Didn't stun me at all. I mean, I like the Brentford game. Aston Villa, they sold Jack Grealish. They bought 1 or 2. I mean, Danny Ings, of course, got the penalty. He's a decent striker. He's played for Liverpool, of course. But these games, I mean, Watford beat Liverpool when Liverpool were in their pomp as well. I remember a few seasons back. These are tough places to go. There's no easy game in the Premier League, so it doesn't really stun me. No game stuns me in the Premier League, especially opening games. There's always games, as you've seen today yourself, that will throw up maybe a different that you don't like, and it's just something happens. But I thought Watford were brilliant. They were 2-0 up at half time. I thought they were going to run away with it, to be fair. Aston Villa got 2 late goals, but great start for Watford. But I still go back to it. I think they're going to struggle long term and stay in the league. I really do, even after winning today. I'm sorry, Watford. Sorry, Norwich. Sorry, Brentford.
Look. I don't think all 3 promoted teams are going back down, though. I think that is a little bit too easy of a prediction to make.
No, I said they'll struggle.
Oh, they'll struggle.
I know, I never said they'll go straight back down.
Watford is a team, it's not my favorite team, seeing that they don't treat their managers well and all, but Xisco Munoz, what a way to start the season. Aston Villa, a team that did well last year, and a team we expect to do well with the signings they made.
Yeah.
And they got stunned. I'm telling you, I watched this game, and this is a game that I actually rewatched yesterday, because it was playing at the same time I was watching another game. Man, look. Ismail Assar had Matt Target in all of his pockets. He took a piece of Matt Target and put it in his 2 front pockets, in his back pockets, in his shirt pocket, and he said, "Hey, somebody else, hold another piece of Matt Talk." There was one time he sat him down on the floor like, "Sit down, boy." I was like, Jesus Christ. Listen, Ismail Assar was all over Aston Villa. All over. And I was saying to myself, when I watch a Man City game, Raheem Sterling couldn't even get past Tanganga. We're going to get to that just now. But Ismail Assar, and I could see why United wanted him. I could see why Liverpool wanted him when Watford went down.
Yeah.
But Watford did really well to hold on to Sarr. Sarr is a gem. He set up the first goal for Emmanuel Dennis, who did well at Club Brugge and scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League as well. So there's quality in Emmanuel Dennis. They got him for cheap. And then Ismail Assar with a deflected goal, well-deserved goal, but Watford were all over Villa. Yeah. Villa weren't able to get Danny Ings involved enough. And I think Emiliano Buendia, he wasn't allowed to actually strut his stuff. And I think that's what affected Aston Villa big time. And then you have to talk about the lack of their captain, Jack Grealish, who has now moved on to supposedly greener pastures in Manchester City. Let's see how green these pastures are this season. Did not start it off well, but it's a well played opening game for Watford and well deserved. You had Chuko Hernandez coming off the bench, scored in about 43 seconds. He's been in the wilderness for 4 seasons.
I know. I seen his reaction. His when it went in.
I'm telling you,
it was like Christmas.
I'm telling you, man. So quality performance by Watford, and I think they stunned Villa. John McGinn scored a good goal in the 78th minute. Danny Ings with a penalty after Traore was taken down. And Leon Bailey with the assist there. Big up to Leon Bailey, Jamaican. Yeah. Leon Bailey looked good. I just want to put that out there. Leon Bailey came off the bench, and this man looked like he meant business, and even picked up an assist on his Premier League debut. To go with Ethan Pinnock, who's also a Jamaican international, picked up an assist. So, look, Villa tried. They fought back hard. They could have got back in the game, but I think Watford were just better on the day, and Dean Smith and his boys just have to work hard and bounce back in their next game.
I'm sure they will as well, Dominic. I think you'll see a better Villa team the next time. Especially, I think they're home the next game, aren't they?
Yeah, they play against Newcastle in their next game, which is
gonna be
tough, but it's a winnable game. It's a winnable
They'll beat
fixture.
Newcastle. They'll beat Newcastle.
And for Watford, they have Brighton. That's going to be a good game.
Well, that's a 6 point. That's like a 6-pointer for them, really, isn't it?
That's going to be a good game.
You know what I mean?
These games are games, when you look at them on paper, for teams like Watford, when you meet Brighton, you have to fancy your chances against Brighton. When you come up against Liverpool and City and Spurs and these other teams, then there's a chance, but the chance is very, very slim.
Yeah, these are the games that are 6-pointers, as I just said, because these are the teams that are going to be probably fighting in around the top of relegation or bottom, where a win against them really gives you an advantage. So, you know, those type of games, Southampton as well, you throw in there, Burnley probably, you know, these type of games.
Yeah, but I think Villa would continue, they would continue to struggle without Jack Grealish. You saw Ashley Young, former Villa player, came back, former captain, he came back. Tyrone Mings is now the captain. But Matt Target, man, you got to do a lot better. I'm telling you. Oh, man, Ismail Assar, it's going to be exciting to watch this guy play this season. Big up to Troy Deeney as well, who had to take second fiddle. Let's see how it's going to play out with him. Because Emmanuel Dennis, if he keeps playing the way he played in that opening game, Troy Deeney would be a coming off the bench type player all season. And you have Chuko Hernandez as well. I want to point out Kuchka, the Slovakian who came over from Parma, 34-year-old. He had a quality match as well. He added some spine. Even Peter Etebo, who's on loan from Stoke, he added some spine to that team. And the makeup of the team that was there in the Premier League previously with Kabasele and Marcel and Cathcart and these regular
Yeah.
Watford players.
They've a nice little mix there of experience as well, don't they? Watford,
Yeah. Mix of
which
experience and some
youth,
little
bit of quality, bit of
Yep.
quality in
And
Ismail Assar and plays like
yep,
that.
explosive players in Saw. Listen, if Saw continues to play like this, he won't be a Watford player for very, very long. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
So, Dave, we're going to move on to the next game. We definitely won't stay forever on this one. And the next game that we're going to talk about, let's talk about the Chelsea match. And then we'll just finish things off with the Man City. Chelsea. Wait. Before we talk about Chelsea, let's just touch it. This game should not take long. This
West Ham. Did you do the West Ham game?
Yeah, we got to talk about that one. Yeah, that
Newcastle,
one.
West Ham.
I'm looking for that one.
Where is it?
It's right here.
Yes.
It's right here.
4-2.
All right.
Wow.
Newcastle 2, West Ham United 4. Quick thoughts.
West Ham continuing on from where they left off last season, basically, and Newcastle doing the same the wrong way around. I think it's going to be another exciting season for West Ham going forward. A lot of attacking players. Antonio getting another goal today. What's that guy? I can't even pronounce his name. Thomas Suchek, is it?
Yeah, Shusek is a beast, man.
He's unbelievable. Every game he scores. Barama, Cresswell. Oh, my God.
Shusek is a beast, I'm telling you, man.
I know. Unbelievable.
Shusek is a beast.
But I'm really impressed with West Ham. I'm impressed with them last season. I'm expecting a good season this year. And a struggle from Newcastle, to be honest.
This was a good game. But Dave, with Newcastle, they're going through the whole takeover BS, and that hasn't been cleared up, and it's been about 3 years now. That whole thing has been going on, and they still can't get the club sold, and Mike Ashley is still in charge there, and it's just stagnant.
It's a bit of a mess.
They did start the game well. They took the lead. Callum Wilson. Look, let's talk about...
I like him.
Dave, I don't know if you saw this goal. Did you see this goal?
No.
Okay, for those of you guys in here who've seen this goal, this guy, Alon Saint-Maximin, is a problem. We know this.
Yeah.
But Dave, you have to see this goal. Saint-Maximin had Declan Rice, and he went this way, then he came back this way. Then he went this way with the ball. He came back this way. He just kept, and he did it enough times that he caught Declan Rice slipping, and then he crossed the ball over. Callum Wilson right in the back of it. I was like, Jesus Christ. The audacity of Alon Saint-Maximin to pull that off. And Newcastle, they were off. They celebrating. Big statement goal. 5 minutes in. Yeah. Bring it on. But then Cresswell scored. It was a controversial type goal where Shusek was given the goal, and then I think there was I can't remember who. I think it was Ben Rama who touched it in the back of the net, but it was already in. And the flag raised, but VAR deemed it to be a legit goal. And also, we haven't touched on the fact that VAR has been tweaked, and it seems like it's working a lot better. The benefit of the doubt has been given to the attackers. And the referees have been taking this no-nonsense approach where they're not blowing the whistle for everything, and they're keeping the game flowing and everything. So it has been a good watch. The first week has been a very, very good watch, I gotta say. And I've been impressed. So West Ham equalizing, but then Newcastle went ahead. Jacob Murphy. That was a brilliant goal again. That was another brilliant goal. Matt Ritchie, who had a standoff with Steve Bruce last season, and he almost even left the club. So it's nice to see him back in. His deliveries are very, very good. He's very good set piece man, and very good cross off the ball. And Murphy with the I think that was a header again, and that was you could see the way he celebrated to go 2-1 up against West Ham. Very impressive last season. And Newcastle were on the way, but the second half we saw a different West Ham United. We saw a different West Ham. Said Benrahma with a header, and that assist by Mikel Antonio with his left foot, that was simply brilliant. Then Thomas Shusek, after a penalty was given, sloppy football there by the aforementioned Jacob Murphy. And Antonio's penalty got saved by Woodman, a goalkeeper. Freddie Woodman, I never heard about this play in my life, but it's because Dubravka and Darlow are both injured at the moment, and Woodman is now the number one goalkeeper. He did well to save it, but I think he was a bit too nonchalant with the save, and Thomas Shusek, being on his toes, put it into the back of the net, and that was them going ahead. And then Mikel Antonio, and that Mikel Antonio goal, oh my God. Look, the commitment of Mikel Antonio, right? The commitment to win the ball back and to run forward. If you go back and you look at the goal, Dave, you have to go and check these goals out.
I checked them out on Match of the Day 2 tonight.
Yeah. And Antonio ran from defense and ran all the way up, received the ball from Benrahma and slammed it into the back of the net. 4-2. What a statement. Coming back from being 2-1 down, winning 4-2. West Ham are giving their fans a lot of hope here, because this team, it looks good. They look good on paper, but I'm worried about what they'll do in the Europa League and the Premier League at the same time. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's key. Key for me. I mean, West Ham could probably do without being in Europe and just playing the Premier League, and the domestic cups, because as you know, the Europa League can, unless your squad is big enough, it can just take it out. You can't. It can kill you. It can kill you.
But I think they'll be happy to be in the Europa League, seeing that they get away days to some weird countries and all of that. So I think if you look at their squad has the depth, because you could have Alphonse Areola being the keeper in Europe, right? You have Issa Diop, a quality center back on the bench. You have Mark Noble, who could get some European football at the age of 34. He could get some Europa League football. Manuel Lanzini, Yarmolenko. So I think they do need a few more signings, because if you look at their squad look a few youngsters mixed in there, and they haven't really done a lot of business. And you have to actually cater for if anyone on the first team picks up an injury. Yeah. So I think they need to bolster their squad. But you got to give it to Koufal. You see, Koufal and Shusek, I think the signing of these Czech Republic players,
unbelievable.
The backbone, man. Bowen also looked good in this game today. He's garnered some interest from Liverpool. So
Jared Bowen, and I can see why.
He's a live wire. So for West Ham, they play Leicester next. That's going to be a tough game, but good win for West Ham to start the season. Newcastle, they play Aston Villa. Both winnable games for the teams. These games could go any which way. So look, big up to everybody in the chat. I know I haven't been reading a lot of comments. It's because I actually want to get this thing wrapped up. I don't want it to be too long-winded, because I have to respect my my guest time.
Okay.
And I know, but still. And I want to give it some good replay value for the people that missed the live stream as well.
I want to get onto the City Spurs, baby. That's what I want to have a talk about.
We're going to get onto that. But guys, we need 14 more thumbs up to hit 100 likes. You could see the like goal at the bottom of the screen.
Hit it, baby.
Go hit the thumbs up button. Let's get to 100. Appreciate the thing. All you have to do is hit the thumbs up button. All right? Appreciate that. So, Dave, we're going to move on and let's talk about the Chelsea game. Let's leave the City game for last. Let's leave the post-mortem for last. So, Chelsea, this game, we don't even need to spend forever talking about this game, because I personally think this was one of the most one-sided matches of the opening week. 3-0, easy peasy lemon squeezy, Champions League winners. Crystal Palace
too easy.
It was too easy, man.
There was nothing in it. Alonso got a lovely goal. Pulisic. It's 2-0. It's over at halftime. 2-0. It's over.
Yeah.
That guy, Shalaba, his first goal. What a goal that was.
Yo. Let me say this, right? let me say this. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this, but I thought about this as soon as it happened. I thought about it. And I even tweeted to someone about it as well, but they didn't respond, a Chelsea fan. Forget about right now. I heard whispers, Chalobah could be going out on loan because he's been a player that, is part of the loan army and everything. Chelsea likes to do that, and they like to.
Unbelievable.
Trevor Chalobah, who started in the Super Cup, he played well in the Super Cup. He started in this game. Forget about Jules Koundé. Let me put that out there. Forget about Koundé. Trevor Chalobah is your man. I'm sold. These 2 matches that I've seen him in, I'm sold. Give the young man a chance.
He's at the club. He's at the club a while now, wasn't he? He never got a chance.
He's been at the club since he was a little boy.
Yeah.
And his brother, Nathaniel Chalobah, was I think he won the title when Kante was there.
Yeah.
He's now the Nathaniel Chalobah is now at Watford, and he's an England international as well. If Trevor Chalobah continues to play like this, he'll be in the England team in no time. This was a quality performance by Trevor Chalobah. As I said, forget about Jules Koundé. Let him stay at Sevilla. Let Sevilla talk about, the right bid isn't coming in, blah, 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 blah. Because from what I saw in his defensive game, and then he stepped up and smashed one in, and Crystal Palace was so light that I saw Trevor Chalobah was like, whatever, man, forget about defending. I'm playing as an attacker. I like that. And he has the flair. I like the hair and the confidence, the swagger. You got a star.
It was too easy too easy for Chelsea, though, to be fair. Far too easy for Chelsea. Crystal Palace were terrible. Toothless, weren't they? Toothless.
You said it. You listen, I couldn't say it better. It was a horrible performance to start off by Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace, because there's a stat that Vieira played against Chelsea 10 times and he never lost. I put out a tweet and I said, well, he gonna learn today. Yeah. He gonna learn how to lose against Chelsea today, because they didn't look good. They really didn't look good. Zaha was hardly involved. I think the team is a bit all over the place, though. They're a little bit all over the place. Because when you look at their lineup, you have Zaha, Mateta. These guys hardly had anything to feed on. Jordan Ayew, who's, I think, maybe not good enough. He listen, he's coming near the end of his isn't he? He's probably a year left in him or whatever, but that's about it. Even if he has a year. You look at this Crystal Palace team right now. Crystal Palace could be in a bit of trouble this season. I'm not going to say they're going to get relegated, but they're going to be down towards the bottom. Patrick Vieira might even get sacked.
You're telling me the Crystal is cracking?
Yeah, it's cracking, bro.
It's cracking, baby.
It's cracking.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mark Guehi, 21-year-old former Chelsea youth player, had to baptism of fire. Premier League debut for Crystal Palace. Big money signing. 3-0 loss. Guaita, he didn't listen. He couldn't. Those were good goals. Alonso with that free kick, man, brilliant. Imagine. Alonso is a player who's always in the transfer talk, like he could be leaving the club, and he's always a man who steps up to score. There's a stat that Marcos Alonso has 22 goals. I think he has about 22 goals. He's the highest scoring Premier League defender since he came to the Premier League.
Unbelievable.
Which is very unbelievable. But believe it. So
it's true.
Christian Pulisic, I know the American fans happy. Pulisic buzzing. The opportunity came because of Hakim Ziyech's injury. But Pulisic, he's always that player. Is he going to start? Is he going to come off the bench? But he has to stay fit and he has to keep scoring every game, and he'll be okay.
They have some squad. Chelsea. Wow. I mean, they're going to be fighting on all fronts this season, I think. Big time. Lukaku.
Yep.
Werner. Stop.
Yeah, and Tammy Abraham is out the door. He's going to Roma, but they brought in Romelu Lukaku, and that's a statement signing. and they're going to be a force this season. You got to big up Edward Mendy as well. He didn't have a lot to do, but they have a quality team. Christensen, Rudiger, Kovacic, Aspilicueta.
Wow.
They put out a quality performance, and they were all over Crystal Palace, and I think it was way too easy. It was way too easy. For Palace, they play Brentford next. That's a London derby. That's going to be a fun one. It's a winnable game for Palace. But
it's a losable game as well.
It's exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And for Chelsea, their next game is against Arsenal. Oh my God.
Whoa.
That
is interesting. Is it at the Emirates? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't matter where it's playing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's a game to watch. I'll tell you that.
Listen,
that's a game to watch.
If the same Arsenal team play, they're losing. They're losing.
No doubt about it.
So before we move on to the final match today, Robbie Lewis with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Robbie. Appreciate it. He says maybe Spurs has showed everyone how to play City. You bully them and you'll throw them off their game, bro. This is known. This is how you beat City. Spurs did it in the Champions League. They did it last year. Liverpool did it a few times. Man United has been doing it. Wolves did it. It keeps happening time and time again. But as I said, look, we're gonna transition. Let's transition nicely into the last fixture today, right? Tottenham 1, Manchester City 0. To be honest, I expected to win this game. I gotta say I expected to win this game. But Spurs, they came out and they were brave. They took the game to Man City. They didn't have that inferiority complex, seeing that they're without the talisman Harry Kane. They're with a new manager. They didn't show any nerve being in front of a packed stadium. And they won the game. And I think, even as a City fan, they deserve that win.
I'll tell you, look, Spurs have been good, as you said earlier. They've had a decent record against City in the last 3 or 4 seasons. So it wasn't a huge surprise. It's just Spurs are a bit, they call them the bottlers in like big competitions and stuff like that. And they usually just die away. But Son, I'll tell you what, see Heung-min Son, I'd nearly rather him than Kane. I mean, this guy is just unbelievable. I think City should put a bit in for him, never mind Kane.
Exactly.
Son for me is just wow.
Exactly. That's who City should have probably gone in for when you really think about it.
Oh, well, I love him as a player. He's all action. He's pace, everything.
I like Kane as well. I think Kane would make City more of a force as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
he has injuries.
Yeah.
Kane. If I said to you, you can have Son tomorrow morning, would you take him?
Yeah, I'll take Son. I will take Son any day. He's a quality player. And he always seemed to show up against Man City, though. Yeah. I don't know what it is. He always seemed to show up against City.
Yeah.
But Dave, look, when you look at this lineup that Pep put out, right, it baffles me. I don't see Pep is a guy that confuses me on so many occasions, right? I don't know if
I seen your reaction when he picked the team in the Champions League final against Chelsea. There's an example.
Exactly. Because, for example, right, if you have Laporte and Stones on the bench, why are you playing Nathan Ake, who basically give Leicester City the Community Shield with that tackle?
Yeah,
you play Ake. Look, you play Ake, who was very standoffish once again against Heung-min Son. Because when Son was about to take the shot, you got to close him down better than that. You really got to close him down better. And if you have John Stones, new contract signed and everything, I don't know if Laporte is on his way out of the club, why he's not starting. But if you have 2 players who are higher up the pecking order than Nathan Ake, why are you starting Ake? Why not let Ake play in these little cup games, the FA Cup, the League Cup, and work his way into the team? Because he was injured last season. He has not been playing a lot of football. And But Pep want to just trust him in, like, go. I trust you. Go do your thing. And Ake has not been good enough, in my opinion.
No, I was surprised when you signed him. Now, let's be fair. No, I think I said it to you. I think I said it to you on the show.
Maybe you did. Yeah, I think you did.
But I just don't see it.
Ake is a quality player. I'm not going to take that away from him. He was one of Bournemouth's best player, right? He was at Chelsea. But I think he hasn't been in form. He hasn't had a lot of football in his legs. That's the thing. He was injured. You got to work him in. And as I said, play him in the Champions League because you know we always get these kind draws in the Champions League. Play him in the Champions League. Play him in the League Cup. Play him in the FA Cup. Let him learn how to play with this team because I don't think he knows how to play with the team as yet.
But why does Pep keep doing these weird teams when everybody sees the team sheet and goes, uh-oh,
exactly.
You're going to have a problem today? I don't know.
Listen, man, Dave, when you look at the team, why put Ferran Torres in as a false 9 when you have Gabriel Jesus on the bench who could play as a number 9?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These are the things I don't understand. If you have Kyle Walker fit and ready, why not start Walker and play Cancelo at left back? You got to go with Mendy. And we know that Mendy has not been at his best. We know since he picked up the injury, he has not been good. Mendy has 50 appearances in what? 5 seasons.
Naby Keita style. Even worse.
I'm telling you. 5 seasons. 5. Mendy came in the 17-18 season. 17-18. On the strength of a great season with Monaco. Him, Bernardo, Fabinho, all of them came over to the Premier League the same time. And Benjamin Mendy has not been impressive since about, let's say, his first 10 games or so for City. And Pep just keeps going on and on with Mendy. It has been proven that Zinchenko is very effective and he works as a left back. Play Zinchenko. Mendy, let him work. Let him continue to build his confidence off of these games like the League Cup games. Let him keep building. You're throwing him out in the deep end a bit too early, in my opinion. Seriously. Yeah. Listen, if we continue like this, we cannot defend the title. We can't. We have the squad.
What do you do? I mean, listen, you have the bloody squad. Let's be real. Probably going to get Kane. Possibly.
Listen, Dave, it's like, for example, right? It's like having let's say, it's like having an arsenal of weapons. And you need these big weapons to kill off your enemies. But you go in with the smallest, least effective weapons against the toughest opponents. That's what Pep does. You see what I'm saying? That's what he does.
Why? Why does he do it?
I don't, for the life of me, I do not
you know what I mean?
Listen, I don't know. Because if you look at the game, right, you have to, listen, Japhet Tanganga had Sterling in his pocket the whole game. And it wasn't even Sterling alone. Both Sterling and Grealish. Japhet Tanganga just said, whatever you guys are not passing, get the hell out of here. But what Man City should have done when they noticed that it was ineffective over on the left side of the field was play more through Riyad Mahrez, attack Reguilon, and we exposed Reguilon in the League Cup final. Expose Reguilon. We look more dangerous when we play down to Riyad Mahrez. Or what you should have done, what Pep should have said at that time, Sterling, get the hell from over there, go over on the freaking right side. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what you should do. Blame Pep for that result because he's the one who tells the players what to do. He puts the team out. That's it. Pep.
What Pep should have done was at that time maybe change the system a little. Change the system. Because I'm telling you, the referee had to even warn Tanganga. The referee had to say, come through, man. Come through. I need to talk to you about this Tanganga fellow. He has been roughing up Grealish and Sterling. I'm warning you, he's going to get sent off. He was all over these guys. You see what I mean? And I think that's where we lost the game because we were ineffective on that side of the field where two players were taken out by Tanganga. When you look at the Spurs team, they had freaking Eric Dyer in their team. And I was laughing. Ollie Skip. And I'm like, the hell? We can't beat Spurs with these players? We can't beat Spurs without Harry Kane? You know what these guys are going to say now? They're going to say, okay, if you want Kane, you could take him. We'll take the money. We'll cash in right now because we know we could play without him. We're going to take that money and maybe bring in 2 or 3 other players for like 100 mil. And we're going to take the rest 50 mil and invest it. Or, yeah, we're going to invest it and triple our money. That's basically.
Well, what would you do? I mean, do you think the Kane deal is still going to go? 2 weeks left?
Oh, man. It seems like City wants Kane. It seems like that's what they want. If that's what they want, listen, it's their money. Let them spend the money. I would like the team if it has Kane in there because we need a striker. We need to replace Aguero. I can't deal with the Ferran Torres playing through the middle and then he's not getting any service, but he doesn't really come back and help out and work to actually do something, manufacture something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with Kane, you know you'll get that. Kane would always drop back and be a creative force as well. While Ferran Torres would be a ghost on the field if he's not really getting the service.
Oh, and what was I didn't see the game today. I only seen the bits on the goal. What was Grealish like today?
He wasn't that bad. He did his thing. He was fouled a lot. But he had a shot on goal. He could have scored. He had an opportunity where he run through. He was taken down on the edge of the box. But if he had stayed on his feet, maybe he would have scored the goal. But you know, Grealish likes to go down very easily.
Yeah.
And the thing about Pep is like, even though Ferran Torres was ineffective throughout the whole game, Pep still left him on the field, you know, for the entire game, you know. And I don't understand this. Why wait until the 7? When did he bring on Kevin De Bruyne? 79 minutes. Oh, what are you smoking, Pep?
You should take Ole at the wheel and swap managers.
Listen, what? Listen, what's Pep? I won't take Ole. But look, what is Pep smoking? If you have Kevin De Bruyne, if he's fit to play 11 minutes, I would have played him at the start. Play him at the start, do the business, take him off. Take him off if he's done the job. But even if you don't start him and you saw we were struggling to create, bring him off the bench as soon as the second half starts. And because when Kevin De Bruyne came on, we looked better. We looked better.
Well, you're going to be better with him on the bloody pitch, full stop, aren't you? Let's be real.
Oh man, it is so frustrating.
Who have you got next? Who's City got next game? Who's City got?
Norwich.
At home, the Etihad.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Norwich.
There's your 3 points there, isn't it?
Nah, man. Remember what happened the last time we played Norwich? They beat us.
No.
They beat us the last time.
That's okay. I'm on about next week, though. You know, let's be real. I'm not talking about last year.
Listen, I'm not taking any teams lightly. We should beat Norwich, but you never know. Pookie might just score a hat-trick.
Wow, Pookie, that would be sick.
They might just score a hat-trick, man. They might just score a hat-trick. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you never know, as you said, yeah. But listen, I'm just delighted football's back, my friend. Fans are back. It's a big, big plus. To get us all our minds off this COVID business that's been going on for the last 18 months. It's just great to be back. That's all I can say.
Lovely. And as we talk about Pookie, big up to Michael Talks Football coming out of Finland, who said Picky will torment the Man City defense again. Let us see. Big up to Okizi, who says City didn't need Grealish. They needed an out-and-out striker to finish up chances they create. Yeah. Good point. But listen, man, these clubs buy who they want to buy. We don't have any influence. We don't have any say. And we got beaten on the day. We got beaten fair and square. I missed a super chat here who says, Thriller, thank you very much for the continued support. He says, Dom, going forward, where is Grealish's best position on the pitch? Wide on the left, central, or does he have license from Pep to play anywhere? I think, look, it's a tricky one because at Aston Villa, he basically played anywhere he wanted to. He was all over the place. It was very effective. And I think he had the license to roam about on the left side today because you saw him over there a lot. You saw him and Sterling kind of interchanging. But they just couldn't deal with Japhet Tanganga. Yeah. They just couldn't deal with Pierre-Emile Hybria. You got to give the Spurs players the credit. I'm not going to take the credit away from Spurs because they played some quality football. Steven Bergwijn, Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura on the counter, devastating. Every time they break, I was like, Jesus Christ, they're about to score. I thought they were going to score every single time they went forward, Dave. Every time.
That's not good going forward, is it, for City?
Listen, that is how dangerous. I mean? And it's like that. It's every time we lose a game, it's like that. Every time. Every time we lose, it's like that. It's been so many occasions I can't even remember. That's the blueprint to beat City.
Look, it's going to be an exciting season. You've seen from this weekend, there was goals all over the shop. There's very exciting games. The VAR, the slight change, and the line's ticker, as you say, advantage to the strikers or the attacking players, which will mean there'll be a lot more goals, I think, this season. And I just can't bloody wait.
So, well said, Dave. We have D. Ellsworth says, so what exactly did Grealish add to the squad for 100 million? The thing about Grealish, the price tag is a release clause. In order to get him, you had to pay the release clause. So I don't see why people are talking up the whole price tag. If you want him, you either pay 100 mil or he stays at Aston Villa. It's nothing other than that. City wanted him. He improves the brand of the club in terms he's English. He's a star. You could see that. And he's a good player. Let's not jump the gun. Let's just give him some time. Let's not laugh. And let's just see what he does this season. Because whenever he comes good, if he does come good, I want you same people who are criticizing him and who have been negative to come out and say, yeah, man, yeah. Look, he did not have a bad game, but we lost the game. If we had won the game, people would have been, oh yeah, okay. They would not have been saying these things. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's just the way it is in football, isn't it? I mean, they're looking for things, and if you lose a game and you have a big money signing that doesn't dictate or do anything in the game, then it's all question. Well, why did you buy him? He did nothing today. You know what I mean? Rather than taking it and a whole season type of thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, big up to Pacharo who dropped 199 super chat. Pep got poisoned and he came up with the formation. Listen, man, Pep is a very, very, very suspect manager.
What?
He wins things. He wins things, but he's very suspect with some of the decisions he makes.
Yeah.
Very suspect.
I don't understand the decisions he makes. They're quite obvious, the decisions he makes. They're obviously wrong at some, when you're looking at it and going, why did he play him?
Look at the Champions League final. Look, if it works, yeah, he gets the praises, but it's like he does some dumb things, man.
He did it against Liverpool a few times at Anfield. And you're going, why did he play him?
Like, for example, Dave, if you play the team you're supposed to play and you lose, yeah, okay, it's fine. You understand? If you put out the best possible team and you still lose, yeah, fine by me.
This is the question. Does Pep know his best team? I don't think he does.
Probably don't.
That's the reason.
Because the thing is, when you have a super squad like that, you now has to please every player.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to do. So that's why he has to keep rotating. Because it's hard to please these players.
That's the problem.
Because these players are good enough to be starting at other clubs, but you at City, you on the bench, you in the reserves or whatever, and you can't really, so he just has to keep switching it up all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's worked. It's worked. The players are good enough. But sometimes he just puts out these weird 11s, man. I'm telling you.
Twilight Zone 11s. He was watching episodes of the Twilight Zone.
I'm telling you.
I mean, he just does it. He does it too often, though. That's the problem, though. It's not once or twice a season. It's a few times a season. And it's in the big bloody games. It's not in the Mickey Mouse games where you might get away with it.
Exactly.
It's the big games.
Champions League final. No defensive midfielders. Big up to my Chelsea fan in here. It says big up to Dominic and Michael.
Who's Michael?
And Dave. Maybe Michael. Michael in the chat. Michael in the chat.
Michael, yeah. Michael talks football. Michael talks football.
Michael talks football. Big up to Flynn coming out of Australia. Thank you very much for coming through. And what else we have here in terms of big up to Ivan Yu says Man City has the same problems as the past seasons. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They lack a target man who can put away the chances. They must get Kane now. And that's the thing I'm telling you, Dave. I saw an opportunity on the edge of the box. What we did, we passed the ball. If that was Salah, he's taking a shot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to take the shots. We have to stop trying to walk the ball in the back of the net. And look, I don't want to be losing games the first match of the season to Spurs. You see what I mean? A team who has been regressing for the last 5 years. Look at what they did in the table. They've been placing lower and lower every season. But what we do, we lose to them last year. We lose to them this year. But look, man, Dave, I could stay here all day. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Josh. Josh didn't get to come through today, but maybe next time. Big up to everybody who came out. Appreciate it. But I have to go and pick up some groceries, man. I ain't got no food in the house. And yeah, and it's been a long day. I
enjoyed that. Yeah. I enjoyed that, bro. Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it
Dave,
again.
Yeah, Dave, thanks for coming through. I wanna look at the other leagues as well, but I ain't got the time to do it today, man. I'll maybe try that during the week to warm things up by checking out what happened in La Liga and in Italy and things like that.
Wow, you just don't stop, bro. You don't stop.
No, I mean like before I start the Premier League predictions, just touch on what happened in the other leagues, just to keep an eye on things and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard, man. When you listen, I'm not 21 years old and I don't have all the time in the world. You see what I'm saying? I have a lot of responsibilities. So look, Dave and everybody in the chat, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Big up to Doug in the house. Doug, I hit you up. You should have told me. Sorry, I was with my fiance.
Doug.
Try to get on soon, but I didn't hit you up, so next time just hit me back, man. Yeah. So Robbie Lewis, thank you, man. Everybody picked Liverpool to finish fourth. Good luck underestimating us. Thank you again, Robbie Lewis. Thanks, Thriller. Thanks everybody in the chat. And we hit 104 likes. Woo! Appreciate it. If you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you like it. Dave, it was fun. We could have gone on, for 4 hours, but maybe if I was by myself, I would have done a 4-hour live stream today. Because I have a lot to say, man. I have a lot to talk about. Big up to Hale BNG. But most of all, big up to Dave. Dave, you appreciate you coming through, bro.
No problem, bro. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely. You're my second podcast today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And whenever, the last time I came on your stream and I brought the crew, and, hopefully we could do that again sometime.
Oh, wow.
Next
Absolutely.
season.
Anytime. Triller from Manila for putting up my channel. Thank you very much, Triller.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, mate.
So, guys, Dave's channel is pinned up at the top, so make sure you check out Dave. As I said, Dave is a longtime friend of the channel, and Dave and I always make a lot of fire, man. Every time Dave, listen, steel sharpens steel. And we have a lot of fun together.
Hot, baby, it's hot. I can't touch it. My phone's burning, baby.
We have a lot of fun together, and
it's good.
We just keep bringing that fire, talking about the game we love, the game of football, the best league in the world, the English Premier League.
Beautiful, baby.
From Dave LFC Chats coming out of Ireland, and your boy Dominic Rich coming out of New York, United States. I like to say thanks. Dave, you have anything to say to the peeps before we move? We call it quits today?
Just listen, guys, enjoy this season, the Premier League this season. We've had a crazy 18 months all over the world. Just enjoy this. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Dominic.
Thank you, Dave. So, guys, from boy Dominic Rich, like to say appreciate it. And until next time, peace out. Rich, score hard. Peace.